Elon Musk told everybody he wanted to expose the corruption at Twitter. He wanted to show exactly how Twitter had been interfering in elections, how it had been slanted completely to censoring one side of the political aisle, and he has done exactly that and more. A bombshell has dropped today with the Twitter files on Hunter Biden's laptop. Now, for most normal, rational people out there, probably a lot of the subscribers of this channel, you've known all along that Hunter Biden's laptop was real, that the New York Post story was real, that it was censored in real time by all of big tech in order to influence the 2020 presidential election. Everyone's known that. Even Zuckerberg admitted that he got pressured to take it down. Well, now Elon Musk, now that he knows exactly what went down at Twitter, he is exposing everybody. Take a look at this headline. Breaking: Elon Musk releases files on Twitter's censorship of the Hunter Biden laptop story. Now, I would recommend everybody go out there and read the entire thread. We're going to do a summary. We're going to read some of the key parts, some of the best parts of it. But Elon Musk started teasing this the other day. It was a little bit later than we thought would happen, but finally he tweets this out. Here we go. And it was Matt Taibbi who tweeted this out. I think that's how you pronounce his name. I'm not 1000% sure, but he is the one that starts this thread out. What you're about to read is the first installment in a series based on thousands of internal documents obtained by sources at Twitter. The Twitter files tell an incredible story from inside one of the largest and most influential social media platforms, a Frankenstein tale of a human-built mechanism grown out of control by its designer. We know the early history of Twitter, but what we really want to know is how these people interfered in the 2020 election, how they censored Hunter Biden and the Biden crime family's laptop story at the behest of the Democrats. And in fact, the people at Twitter and Democrats colluding together, combining together to say, you know what, the First Amendment, it's not all encompassing. It's not the biggest deal in the world. We're going to do everything we can to silence Americans so that we get our way, so we can establish our truth. Disgusting, diabolical, and really fascist-like behavior from the Democrats. Slowly over time, Twitter staff and executives found more and more uses for these tools. Outsiders began petitioning the company to manipulate speech as well. First a little, then more often, then constantly. By 2020, requests from connected actors to delete the tweets were routine. One exec would write, more to review from the Biden team. The reply would come back, handled. And we know what these tweets are. These are ones directly from Joe Biden's campaign saying, we want these deleted. We need these deleted by Twitter. And they took care of it. What were some of these things in question? Grab this from a Parler account. How old do we suppose she is? Interesting, huh? What about these sex tapes of Hunter Biden that were released? What about this picture of Joe Biden's son, Hunter Biden, using and weighing drugs? Hunter Biden's sex tapes, the CCP's infiltration in the U.S., evil alliance to dominate the world. These are things Joe Biden asked for those to be taken out. We got those screenshots, but that's what they wanted taken down and deleted from the internet, and Twitter did exactly that. By 2022, celebrities and unknowns alike could be removed. Look at this. This one is James Woods. And now James Wood has since announced that he was on Tucker Carlson. He's going to sue the DNC because the Democratic National Committee wanted this deleted. He got suspended by Twitter because the Democrats working with Twitter. How fucked up is that? Both parties had access to these tools. For instance, the Trump White House and the Biden campaign requests were received and honored. But primarily, overwhelmingly, it was Democrats that got these things for themselves because there is more access, there's more people that know each other, there's more lines of communication, and then they show the ridiculous contributions. Look at 99.73% of charitable donations were to Democrats from Twitter for the 2020 campaign. Insane. The resulting slant in content moderation is visible in the documents you're about to read, but it's assessment of the current and former high-level executives. The Twitter Files Part 1 on October 14th. New York Post published this Biden secret emails exposing the Hunter Biden laptop. We know all about this. And what did Twitter do? They locked it out. They marked it unsafe. They wouldn't let anybody read it. They suspended the New York Post Twitter account to hide this. Well, now we know some of how this went down. Twitter took extraordinary steps to suppress the story, removing links and posting warnings. They even blocked, whoops, didn't mean to pull this up. They even blocked its transmission via direct message, something they only do for CP. They decided they'll let that run rampant on Twitter, but they wanted to censor this. Even Kayleigh McEnany was locked out of her account for tweeting about the story. The Trump campaign said at least pretend to care about this. That was his response to Twitter. You had more people start to make inquiries about this, talking around the company, being like, why did this happen? Oh, I guess we're going to go with the story that it was for hacking violations, even though nobody bought that narrative. Although several sources were called here in a general warning from federal law enforcement about possible foreign hacks, there's no evidence of any government involvement in the laptop story that may have been the problem. The decisions made at the highest levels of the company, but without the knowledge of Jack Dorsey, by former head of legal policy and trust, Vijaya Gad, the same woman who went on Joe Rogan and tried to explain all these bans, the same woman who is responsible for the suspension of President Donald J. Trump, the person who's now been fired by Elon Musk. She was one of the people that was making all of these decisions and led to this huge, massive cover-up, this conspiracy. That's really what this is, to manipulate the 2022 election. They just freelanced it, is how one former employee characterized the decision. Hacking was the excuse, but within a few hours, pretty much everyone realized it wasn't going to hold. But no one had the guts to reverse it. And again, you should go and read all this for yourself because the details of it, I don't want to just say every single word because we'd be here forever. The details of it are employees talking to each other about how we're going to fix this because we shouldn't be doing this. This isn't actually against our rules. We need to make something up for this. By this point, everybody knew this was fucked, said one former employee. Former VP of Global Comms, Brandon Borman, said, "Can we truthfully claim this is part of the policy?" You even had a Democratic representative reach out to Twitter and say, hey, this is about free speech. Maybe you should look into this. And the Twitter guy's like, no, don't worry about that. We're going to continue to manipulate. We're going to continue to censor everybody. That's what Vijaya Gad replied to a Democratic congressman who actually reached out. Kana tries to reroute the conversation to the First Amendment, mention of which is generally hard to find in the files. But then once you actually did get more congressmen, more Democratic representatives, people like that involved in this, that's when it started to get a little bit scary. Sabo reports to Twitter that some of the Hill's features characterizing the laptop story as text access Hollywood moment. Twitter files continued. The First Amendment isn't absolute. Sabo's letter contains a chilling passage relaying Democratic lawmakers' attitudes. They want more moderation. And as for the Bill of Rights, it's not absolute. Look at this. We're going to actually read this one in full because this is the big one. Democrats, meanwhile, complain the companies are inept. They let conservatives muddy the water and make the Biden campaign look corrupt, even though Biden is innocent. They link this to Hillary's email scandal. She did nothing wrong because the press wouldn't let the story go. It became a scandal. In their mind, social media is doing the same thing. It doesn't moderate enough harmful content, so when it does, like yesterday, it becomes a story. If companies moderated more, conservatives wouldn't even think to use social media for disinformation, misinformation, or otherwise. They don't want conservatives using social media. They want to control the message completely. The Democrats were in agreement. Social media needs to moderate more because they're corrupting democracy and making all truth relative. When pushed on how the government might insist consistent with the First Amendment, they said, the First Amendment isn't absolute. These are the Democrats. This is the Democratic Party. An amazing subplot was how much was done without the knowledge of CEO Jack Dorsey. Multiple instances of Dorsey intervening to question suspensions or other moderation actions. Even going so far to send an email, forwarding articles and things like that to Vijaya Gad saying, hey, everyone's talking about how fucked up this is. But Jack Dorsey is getting off a little bit clean here, a little bit suspicious how clean he's getting off, just say that. But this is a bombshell and it's only going to continue. Elon Musk has already confirmed as well. I want to go to his replies here because he actually replied to the quartering. I need to find it somewhere. And yes, here he does reply. Quartering says, you said there'd be Q&A. I had many questions, would settle for just one. Q&A tomorrow, he says. And tune in for episode 2 of Twitter Files tomorrow. So it's only going to get juicier. It's only going to get spicier. The Hunter Biden laptop story was real. We knew it was real the entire time. Twitter knew it was real the entire time, and they danced around it to censor things for the Democratic Party. They worked with Democrats, they worked with the DNC, they worked with the Biden campaign to deplatform people, to delete things for them, to make them look good. They interfered in the 2020 election. Undisputable evidence. That's what Elon Musk has given everybody right now. What a disaster for the Democrats. Everybody has now seen for themselves, and it is only going to continue. Elon Musk said he wanted to expose this stuff when he bought Twitter. That's exactly what he's done. Let me know what you think about this in the comment section below. Smash a like button, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, share this video out there, and I'll talk to you later.